Hello, my name's Peter Barrett, and for the next few minutes I'm going to speak to you about the life of my great-grandmother Alice Hawkins, who was a Leicester shoe machinist 100 years ago. But that's not the whole story, for not only did Alice work long hours in a Leicester shoe factory, she also campaigned for the rights of women, both within the local shoe trade union but also as a suffragette. Alice campaigned with other women fighting for the right to vote. So let's start off on the journey of Alice's life by going to the very shoe factory where she worked all those years ago. So here we are, standing outside the very shoe factory where Alice worked all those years ago, the Equity Shoe Factory in Weston Road. But who was Alice Hawkins? Well, Alice was born in 1863 into a very poor working class family. She was one of 9 children. Alice left school at the tender age of 13 after a very elementary education and went to work in the shoe factories of the town, becoming a skilled shoe machinist. Sometime in the 1880s, Alice came to work here at the Equity Shoes, but soon realised that women were not being paid on equal terms with men in the industry. Throughout the late 19th and early 20th century, Alice became a prominent shoe trade member worker, campaigning for the rights of women in the industry. But Alice realised that without the right to vote, women were being treated as second-class citizens. Frustrated as being treated as a second-class citizen, Alice went to London in early 1907 and attended a suffragette meeting outside the House of the Parliament itself. That day, Alice and 300 women fought a pitched battle with police. By the end of the evening, she'd been arrested, taken off to Cannon Road police station, put in her cells, waiting to be charged. The following day, Alice and the other women were taken off to Holloway Jail for 14 days. And so this working class lady from Leicester, this strong socialist, found herself in Holloway Jail with 28 other women of all social backgrounds and all political persuasions. But those women were united as one in the fight to gain the right to vote. And so, as well as working long hours in the Leicester shoe factory, campaigning within the shoe trade union to improve the paying conditions of women in the industry, Alice had also become a suffragette and had a prison sentence to prove it. But she was also a wife, a mother to 6 children. And here we are in Mantle Road, just off the Tudor Road in Leicester, just a 10-minute walk from where Alice worked at the Equity Shoes. Alice and her husband Alfred rented a house here for many, many years. And Alice, as a keen cyclist, would cycle from here to the towns and villages of Leicestershire, urging women to support the suffragette cause. In 1911, Alice and other women in the shoe trade decided to set up their own union, the Women's Independent Boot and Shoe Trade Union. It was an attempt to gain better pay details for the women in the industry. The women workers here at the Wheatsheaf Shoe Factory in Knightonfields Road responded to the call for action by going on a go slow, and within a week many men were sent home as a lack of work meant they had little to do. It caused much friction between the men and women at the factory, but within months began to show results as the new Women's Union began to strike new pay deals with the employers here in Leicester. Despite Alice's hard work with other women in Leicester in setting up the new shoe trade union, her campaign as a suffragette did not let up. For Alice went to prison 5 times in all in her fight for the vote. Twice in Holloway Jail, 3 times in Leicester Prison. And here we are today, standing outside the former magistrates' court in the town hall itself. For Alice went to prison in 1913 for digging up golf courses in Oadby. This is the actual photograph of Alice being taken away from the magistrates' court to Welford Road Prison. 14 days, and her crime? For digging up golf courses near the city centre. And here we are, just around the corner from the Town Hall Square and the former magistrates' court. For here in 1909, the Leicester Suffragettes took a lease on this very shop, with the profits going towards the suffragette cause. The plate glass windows of the shop were often broken by men who opposed the suffragette cause. They believed a woman's place was in the home. But the shop also acted as a rallying point for the Leicester Suffragettes. They would often form up here, outside the shop, ready to march through the city centre itself. And so, after a long working life as a shoe machinist, a prominent member of the shoe trade union here in Leicester, and as a suffragette, Alice died at the age of 83 here at my grandfather's house, just off the Welford Road. My mum remembers her Granny Alice and tells me she was a very determined woman who would never back down in a family argument. But I guess you'd need that inner resolve in order to win through the campaigns of the day. But what are the memories of Alice Hawkins, shoe trade worker and suffragette? Well, here it is, a blue plaque on the wall of the Equity Shoe Factory where Alice once worked.
You never knew me, Nana. She died 4 years ago. She lived in that old folks' home in my side, you know. I used to go on Sundays, I sometimes took the kids. I was always so proud of what she did. Nana was a suffragette, almost the last alive. Nana was a suffragette, over 95. She sang votes for women, is just the beginning. You haven't seen anything yet. Oh, Nana was a suffragette. When I was young, I treasured an old photo of my Nan, speaking to the workers from a Clarion van. You wouldn't think it of her, she looked so frail and ill. But on that day, Nana emptied all the women from the mill. Nana was a suffragette, never thought to fail. Nana was a suffragette, spent the night in jail. Singing votes for women is just a beginning. You haven't seen anything yet. Oh, Nana was a suffragette. The proudest day of Nana's life was when the vote was won. The papers said it's over, but Nana had just begun. Her women's committee went on to better things, and they challenged the union, the council and their wedding rings. Nana was a suffragette, only 5 feet tall. Nana was a suffragette, took on City Hall. Singing votes for women is just the beginning. You haven't seen anything yet. Oh, Nana was a suffragette. Now here I'm standing with my college degree, and my own kids have more options than Nana could achieve. But if you think we're satisfied, take a look around. There's a lot of angry women won't let their nanas down. Nana was a suffragette, it's as if she's still alive. Nana was a suffragette, their voices still survive. Singing votes for women is just a beginning. You haven't seen anything yet. Oh, Nana was a suffragette. Now here I'm standing with my college degree, and my own kids have more options than Nana could achieve. She goes on, satisfied, never look around. There's a lot of angry women won't let their nanas down. Nana was a suffragette, it's as if she's still alive. Nana was a suffragette, their voices still survive. Singing votes for women is just the beginning. You haven't seen anything yet. Oh, Nana was a suffragette.